Good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday and happy day 13. Can you believe we're on the second half now already? And oh, what a journey it's been, isn't it? Yesterday we left King Solomon having built the temple that David had plans for. And do you remember I was saying that things didn't go quite well? Just like with all the other things, it was good, then they levelled off, forgot about God and dipped down again. Well, God knew that, but he never ever took his hand off his family. And the next thing he did was, let's have a look, shall we? Day 13. And behind it is a letter and some things written down. Oh. Now, do you remember I talked about somebody called a prophet? A prophet, do you remember that? This was Samuel back here on day 9. Samuel was one of those messengers from God that God gave a message to and then he told all the people about it. Well, we come now to a few others, and there were quite a few. God needed loads over hundreds of years. And each time one of those special messengers came and gave a message from God, the people turned their heads back to God for a little while, and then they didn't. Oh my goodness me, this is such a shame, isn't it? But one of those prophets, the people who heard from God and told God about everybody, was a man called Isaiah. And Isaiah had a very, very special message from God. And he wrote it over a very long book, and if you want to, you can read that whole book. But my Jesus Storybook Bible has written it all down in one go, like a letter. And I thought this morning I'd read that to you because it's a really good plan. Here we go. Are you ready? This is what God said through Isaiah to the people, and I think it's still relevant to us today in 2020. Dear little flock, you're all wandering away from me, like sheep in an open field. You've always been running away from me, and now you're lost, and you can't find your way back. But I can't stop loving you. I will come and find you. So I'm sending you a shepherd to look after you and love you, to carry you home to me. You've been stumbling around like people in a dark room, but into the darkness a bright light will shine. It will chase away all the shadows like sunshine. A little baby will be born, a royal son. His mummy will be a young girl who doesn't have a husband, and his name will be Emmanuel, which means God has come to live with us. He is one of King David's children's, the Prince of Peace. Yes, someone is going to come and rescue you, but he won't be anyone that anyone expects. He will be a king, but he won't live in a palace. He won't have lots of money. He will be poor and he will be a servant, but this king will heal the whole world. He will be a hero. He will fight for his people and rescue them from their enemies, but he won't have big armies and he won't fight with swords. He will make the blind see. He will make the lame leap like deer. And he will make everything the way it was always meant to be. But people will hate him and they won't listen to him. He will be like a lamb. He will suffer and die. It's the secret rescue plan we made from before the beginning of the world. It's the only way to get you back. But he won't stay dead. I will make him alive again, said God. And one day when he comes back to rule forever, the mountains and trees will dance and sing for joy. The earth will shout out loud. His fame will fill the whole earth as the waters cover the sea. Everything sad will come untrue. Even death is going to die, and he will wipe away every tear from every eye. Yes, the rescuer will come. Look out for him. Watch for him. Wait for him. He will come, I promise, said God. And Isaiah wrote all that down over many, many different conversations with God. And the people kind of understood it, kind of responded, but you guessed it, kind of didn't. And poor Isaiah, we know now what he didn't know and what the people didn't know. Because that baby, did you recognise that as I read it? That baby that will be born a royal son, and his mummy will be a girl who doesn't have a husband. We know who that baby is, don't we? And we're going to get to that bit of the story at some point. After Isaiah, there followed another prophet called Jeremiah. And he was known as the weeping prophet because everything he had to say either made him cry because it was so sad or made the people cry. And he had a very tough job to do as well. And at that point, God said, right, enough. I'm going to take you away from the land that you're in, and you're going to have to move to somewhere else. And they did. But he gave them a little bit of hope. He said, right, when you're in your new land, number one, settle down. You know, make a garden, build a house, live there for a little while. You're there for a while. Number two, I won't leave you. And actually, number three, I'm going to make people around you come back to me. Even though they're people in a foreign land, they're going to come back to me because you are living in their land. And I think we might find out a little bit more about that tomorrow. This temple, everything was taken from it, all the people were taken. Oh, not a good time to be in, but God's promise. I will never leave you. I am here. You just have to look and listen and find me. Have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow morning. Bye.